Hi, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Lindsay and I have been on WW, formerly known as Weight Watchers, for about a year and a half. It will be 2 years, April 2020. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 easy, quick weeknight meals that you can get out on the table fast if you've got other mouths to feed in your household, or if you're just feeding yourself. So we've got a couple recipes that are new and a couple that are staples for me and my husband and my children. I am on the myWW Blue plan, but I think regardless of which plan you're on, you can take bits and pieces from this video and make some really delicious meals. I hope that this can give you the inspiration you need to get some nice, healthy, home-cooked meals out on the table for you and your family. Let's jump right in. All right, it is Monday evening, and tonight we had salmon burgers. Again, I am on the myWW Blue plan, and tonight's dinner on Blue was a total of 5 smart points. So the salmon burgers that I used are from Costco, and they're the Trident brand, and each patty is 3 smart points. And I was gonna do these in the toaster oven, but we actually had a really warm February day. It was in the mid-50s and really sunny out, so my husband offered to throw these on our propane grill outside, and they turned out so good. He ate his on a bun. I had mine over a bed of mixed greens. I put about a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar on my lettuce, and then I put the salmon patty on top of the lettuce and balsamic. I sautéed up some mushrooms and a yellow onion, and I put those sautéed veggies on top of my burger, and then I drizzled about a half a tablespoon of balsamic glaze over the top of all of that. And then my husband had a little bit more of a traditional burger with regular burger toppings like ketchup, mustard, pickle, and he said that that was really good as well. So just personal preference there. Mine was like more of a salad, or the burger without the bun. Let's see what else. We also did steamed green beans. I just snapped the ends off and snapped them in half, and then I put them in my steam pot and just put those on my gas range. And then I put the frozen butternut squash cubes I pick up from Costco into my air fryer. I usually do these on the French fry setting, so that's 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and it usually takes about 15 minutes if you're cooking them from frozen, maybe about 11 or 12 minutes at 400 if they are not frozen. Everything turned out so good. I was so sad when my dinner was gone. It was like one of those. So I don't think that there was anything else that I wanted to mention. Again, tonight's dinner was 5 points, and it's Monday, so I will see you again on Tuesday. It is Tuesday evening. I'm back in the same spot that I was last night. Tonight for dinner we had spaghetti squash. I cut my spaghetti squash, I think what you would call like long ways. Some people cut it in half, but I like to cut mine like a boat almost. And then I just give mine a quick spray with olive oil, cooking spray, but you could use real olive oil. I was just trying to keep it low on points. So I give it a quick spray, and then I put it into a 9x13 baking dish, like squash side up, so it's sitting in a bowl, sitting in the baking dish like a bowl. And then I sprinkle on garlic powder, Italian seasonings, and just a little bit of Himalayan pink sea salt. And then I put that in the oven. I bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I baked it for about 45 minutes. that is the tenderness, that makes the squash the tenderness that we prefer. I used a sauce that is local to my area of Northeast Ohio. It is from an Italian market in Akron. It's super low in points, so when I am at a store that sells it, I always pick up a jar because it's my all-time favorite sauce. I can have a full cup of it, and it is so worth it because it's just absolutely delicious. So I really like to just smother my spaghetti squash in this sauce. A full cup for only 2 points. Normally I would do the Skinnyish Dish, where I think that you can have that same amount for 0 points. But I had it open in the fridge, so I wanted to go ahead and use it up, and it's so good anyway. And then I also did the Butterball Farm Italian seasoned turkey meatballs, and these are from Costco. 3 meatballs is 1 serving, and that's 4 points. So with the sauce and the meatballs, my dinner came to a total of 6 points. 4 for the meatballs and 2 for the sauce. Once my spaghetti squash was out of the oven, I just use a fork and scrape it off the sides of the outside the skin of the squash. I plated up. I had 3 meatballs, and then I put the sauce over top, and I also put some sautéed mushrooms and onions on top of the sauce just because I like the flavor that it adds. And I had a salad that was the mixed greens from Aldi, which you would have seen in my last grocery haul, or no, in my Aldi's favorites. And then on my salad I had banana pepper rings, just the mild ones. I had, what else? Cucumber, chopped up cucumber, and red onion. It was so good. And then I had the Skinny Girl honey Dijon dressing, which isn't like the cleanest dressing to eat, but it's 0 points. So I didn't want to have a dressing with points because I had already spent 6 on my spaghetti squash. So that was my dinner for tonight, a total of 6 points, and it was delicious. I think that's all that I wanted to say, so I will go ahead and end it here, and I will see you tomorrow for dinner on Wednesday. Hi, it is Wednesday, and tonight for dinner we had, I guess you could call it like cheesy buffalo chicken for dinner. I'll start with one of the sides. I have shown this before. It was in my WW shepherd's pie recipe, and it is a cauliflower mash. So tonight I made about it was like 3/4 of a small head of cauliflower, and you just give it a rough chop so that the pieces are fairly uniform in size, so they steam at the same rate. And you put it in a steam pot and steam it until it's fork tender, and then you transfer it to a food processor. And to the cauliflower, before I blend it up, I put in 2 tablespoons of light sour cream and 2 tablespoons of the Land O'Lakes light butter made with canola oil. You can use whatever sour cream and butter you want. That's just my preference based on what points those 2 products are. And then you blend it up until it is like a mashed potato like consistency, nice and smooth and creamy. I also add some salt and pepper while I'm doing it, just to taste. And then for the chicken, I always get the chicken tenderloins in the big bag from Costco. So I just made 4 tenderloins, 2 for me and 2 for my husband. And then over mine, I sprinkled 15 grams of the extra crispy shake and bake breadcrumb coating. And then I didn't even measure out my husband's, but it looked to be about the same amount. And then I air fried that. I put it on for 13 minutes, 14 minutes. And when there was about 3 minutes left, I pulled the chicken out. And then, similar to my chicken parmesan recipe in my last dinner video, I put buffalo wing sauce over the top of the chicken. It was just one from my local grocery store, Giant Eagle. 2 tablespoons for 2 points. And then I topped that with 28 grams or a 1/4 cup of the Kraft fat-free mozzarella, and then I put that back into my air fryer and I let it cook for the remaining time, which was 3 minutes, I believe. Once that was done, I just plated it up with I took half of the cauliflower mash and 2 pieces of chicken and some steamed green beans. And then I just salted those, and then to go with the chicken, I just had 2 tablespoons of the Bolthouse Ranch, and that is 2 tablespoons for 2 points. So that was, let's see, 2 points for the ranch dressing, 2 points for the butter, 1 point for the sour cream, 1 point for the shake and bake, and 2 points for the wing sauce. So tonight's dinner was a total of 8 points. It was good. It's one of my husband's favorite recipes that I make, and I just make his with the low moisture part skim mozzarella, and I don't measure out his breadcrumbs. And then he always eats the same sides. So yeah, it's a favorite. It's got a kick from the wing sauce. So good. It's so good with the ranch dressing. That, I believe, is it for tonight. And I will see you again tomorrow for our Thursday night dinner. Hello, it is Thursday evening. Tonight for dinner we had sausage, sauerkraut, and potatoes. So before I started Weight Watchers, I used to have like Polish sausage, sauerkraut, and pierogies, but this is just like an example of like how I kind of made this dinner a little bit healthier, which is like key when you're changing your diet or trying to change your lifestyle for something a little bit more healthy. So the sausage that I used is the Sam's Choice, which I get from Walmart. All natural chicken apple smoked sausage links. And they're the size of, I would say, like a bratwurst. So I just take these and I slice them up into like coins, you could say, that are probably like a 1/4 of an inch in thickness. And it just makes like the perfect bite-sized piece, and then it also makes it so that me and my husband can both have one link, and it's plenty for the amount of sauerkraut that we have. So I just slice that up, and then I put it in a non-stick skillet, and I don't even bother spraying it because it never sticks. So I don't use like a non-stick cooking spray or anything. And I just brown the sausage pieces on both sides, and then once those are nice and browned and nice and hot, then I drain my sauerkraut and I put it in the skillet with the sausage. You could certainly like add onions or any kind of spices you want, but this is just one of those meals that's super quick, super simple. It's easy for me to get out on the table when my husband is working an hour away at the office. So that is why we did that for dinner tonight. Once your sauerkraut is nice and hot in the skillet with your sausage, you're done. On the side, I had, for both of us, this will serve 2. I cut up 1 russet potato, I would say a medium-sized one. They say like a small russet potato, this is what I've heard, is the size of a computer mouse, like just a normal size computer mouse. This was a little bit bigger than that. I peeled it, I cut it up into bite-sized pieces, and I just stuck it in some water. I let that come to a boil, and then I took them out and drained them in a strainer when they were fork tender. And then I ended up topping my potatoes with salt, pepper, and some light sour cream, just one from Aldi. That is 2 points for 2 tablespoons. The potato was 2 points for half of the medium potato, and then one of those chicken and apple sausage links is 2 points. So if you don't have the sour cream on your potatoes, the dinner is 4 points. If you put the sour cream on, it's 6. So I counted 6 for my dinner tonight, and that's on blue. The sauerkraut is 0. You have to make sure that when you get the sauerkraut, you get one that's just the prepared cabbage and salt, and that it's in water. They have some really nice sauerkrauts out there. This was just a basic one that I already had in my pantry, which is why I put it on my meal plan for this week, because I knew that it needed to be used. So get whatever sauerkraut you prefer. There's some out there that taste so wonderful. Not that this one tastes bad, but I know that there's better tasting ones out there. Just make sure you scan it to see if a serving is 0 points. Not that it has to be 0 points, but just be aware of the point value on that. Another thing that I wanted to note was that my husband really likes to put salt, pepper, sour cream, and hot sauce on his, I think he puts it on everything on his dish. If you like to add a little bit of spice to your dinner, then that is also another option. But otherwise it still has plenty of flavor. Sauerkraut has a pretty strong flavor. So yeah, I hope that this was a good dinner idea. We've got one more meal night to go, and I will see you tomorrow for dinner on Friday. All right, so for tonight's dinner, I had originally planned to do Felicia Keithley's French onion chicken, but I have my weigh-in tomorrow and I didn't want to eat something that high in sodium, just because I didn't want to have the salt bloat. I can leave that recipe linked down below if you're interested. It's so good, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and save it for next week or another week. So instead, we still had a chicken dish. I just put some chicken in the air fryer and I sprinkled it. I covered it with the olive oil spray, and then I sprinkled it with the Mrs. Dash garlic and herb seasoning blend, the one that I like constantly use. And then on the side, I did steamed green beans again, just because I needed to use up the rest of that bag of green beans, and mashed potatoes. I had one more russet potato to use, so it was another medium one. Me and my husband each had half, and I made mashed potatoes from it. I just cut it up into small cubes, peeled it, and then I cut it up, and then I boiled the cubes until they were fork tender, and then I just used a potato masher, and I did 2 tablespoons of that Land O'Lakes light butter with canola oil and 2 tablespoons of light sour cream. So we each got 1 tablespoon. So the only points tonight came from those mashed potatoes. So for me, for my serving, the russet potato was 1 point. I'm sorry, the russet potato was 2 points. The butter was 2 points, and the light sour cream was 1 point. So tonight's dinner was a total of 5 points. Again, I always say this, but if you don't want to use the light sour cream or the light butter, you can sub out whatever you want. That's just what works for me and my points and the way that I like to structure my days. But if you don't like eating like those diet foods or like the stuff that's been lightened up with other stuff, then certainly don't. That's just what works for me, and I think it tastes good. So yeah, So again, tonight's dinner was a total of 5 points. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the week now. Tomorrow night, me and my husband are hoping to get out for a date night. So we are going to go out and enjoy ourselves, and I'm going to do my no track meal. I ended my week, so Fridays end my week and then I weigh in at my workshop on Saturday mornings. I ended my week with 35 weeklies left. So I'll go out to eat tomorrow and then just wipe those clean. And I hope this video was helpful, gave you some meal ideas. Quick and easy weeknight meals are key in our house. That is how I manage to get dinner on the table at least 5 nights a week, if not 6, for me, my husband, and our 2 kids. Yeah, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more from me. I will see you next time. Bye.